Welcome to Down South Football Podcast Live, man. We're here for our weekly good time of the prediction show. This is your boy Bernard Williams, you can see, and we got the other three guys in the building. We got Mr. I don't even know what to say about this guy. No more. And I am DJ Double Dose, aka what in the world?
Fresh off of the winning week of 8-1. Let's go ahead and clap for a real one.
Have you lost your mind?
I'm just saying, I went 8-1. I had the best record last week. I did.
As I was saying, also known as Ben Dennis, also known as Lee Corso, also known as I'm gonna not let you finish your point. Ben, since I ain't gotta ask you how you doing, because you just let us know how you doing.
I'm doing great. Feeling good. Feeling great. Feeling great. Feeling good. How are you? You know what I'm saying? That's just how I'm doing.
Whatever you got in that happy juice cup, put it down.
Oh no, we got some good stuff going on tonight.
Anyway. Also, we got us with us tonight. We got Mr. DL Gardner 205, the silent assassin, Mr. David Gardner. Brother, how you doing tonight, man?
Hey man, I'm doing good, man. Just trying to get this damn ESPN app working, but I'm good. It is straight trash, boy. ESPN app has gotten trash as well.
You got to go in. If it's messing up, just go ahead and log out and come back in.
Yeah,
that's what I'm out to do, bro.
That's what you have to do. And also checking in. Should I say where he checking in from? Checking in from work.
Please don't.
Checking from an undisclosed location.
Thank you.
We got Mr. Chauncey Tuck checking in. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Man, not much, man. You know, just trying to survive $14.99 a day. That's all I'm just trying to do. Trying to survive $14.99. If you know what that means, you just look it up.
I'm gonna play that on my lotto ticket this weekend, sir.
$14.99.
There we go.
Did you wake up on the wrong? Okay. Anyway, we're gonna add a guest into the show tonight. We got our long time friend. Hey. Hold on. Let's we got to give the man a proper introduction. We got the man, the myth, the legend in the building, as I like to call him, Mr. John Garcia, National Recruiting Director for Sports Illustrated. Man, he decided to jump on the wagon and come in and do some picks. John, how you doing, man? It's good to see you.
I'm doing well, fellas. Good to be back on with you guys. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, you're good.
Great.
We hear you great, John. That's a new mic, John. You didn't have that mic last night.
Yeah, man. I caught an Amazon deal for $50, so I was happy about it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
There you go. So just good to be back on with you guys. One of my favorite podcast shows, collectives, whatever we want to call it. Always a pleasure talking ball with you guys.
Well, man, we appreciate it, man. We gonna make some picks tonight. Hopefully you won't embarrass it. But before we get into picks, man, tell us about your new podcast. Well, I've been getting some of my good gambling picks from. I can tell my secrets.
Don't jinx it.
I'm not gonna jinx it. But tell us about your new podcast.
Yeah, it's called the Next Up Podcast. Real simple, quick college football show. We dip into recruiting in the NFL a little bit, but mainly college football. We throw out the picks once a week, 5 picks a week, and right now we're at 75% against the spread. So we don't want to jinx it.
Okay.
And this is a tough week. We're about to talk about it. This is a tough week.
Yes,
but we've been blessed early in the season. So a couple folks have made a couple dollars, and we want to help them continue.
Well, look, John. Since we all trying to hawk down Renard, we're gonna let you go first, and then we're gonna come behind you. You know what I'm saying? Since you said 5%, you know what I'm talking about.
No, John. I'm not even gonna do you like that. We have a new segment on the show. We now have Lee Corso on our show. I didn't know if you noticed or not. We have our own version. You looking at him. He the man with the shirt on that says I can't take nothing from it, because he gives the same reasoning as Lee Corso gives for his picks. So they are first cousins. That's the man name.
Corso.
Ben Corso, that's his name from here on out, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. It's that's and you'll see as the night goes on. But he has said some crazy stuff. Ben, would you like a rebuttal to that?
Sometimes that works though. Sometimes when you say, hey, look, you know what? I got one thing I know about San Diego State is that LaDainian Tomlinson, or not LaDainian Tomlinson, went there. Marshall Faulk went there. So, I get excited about the Aztecs.
You know, there you go.
Hey, but see, John, that's football related, right? So you flying into San Diego wouldn't be a reason for you to pick somebody, right?
See, the whole thing came from I flew into El Paso. You know what I'm saying? So I went with. So that's how the whole thing came from. And then the shirt you see, I can't take nothing from that. Small 2 seconds. It comes from that because before we played Jacksonville State, Florida State, I said, look, no matter what happens in this game, whether we win, whether we lose, I can't take nothing from it because if we win, everybody gonna say we're supposed to win. If we lose, everybody gonna be like, what the hell happened? Now, I didn't think we was gonna damn lose, so my whole point was I will take about Florida State whatever happens against Wake in their first ACC game. Well,
why am I getting this 5-minute explanation? We moving on. I am not.
Last 6 seconds, I was okay, and then Jarvis Brown.
Sir, this is a vicious show.
No, it was actually getting good. I'm trying to get.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, then, Ben. Go ahead. You're killing me.
And look, because Renard's whole point was you should be able to take something from week to week. You know what's going to happen, coaches, blah blah blah, right? So I'm like, look, we're going to get penalties. We're going to struggle. We're going to play down to the competition. All of that was going to happen. And it all did. And everything was going according to plan until the last 6 seconds. Because we would have scraped by and won the game until the last 6 seconds. So the whole point was I was like, I can't take nothing from that game. I'll find out about Florida State when they play against Wake. But yeah, as you saw, Good Morning America and everything else. And there you go.
Man, it's bad. Are they the worst team in the ACC?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Going against the other worst team is Syracuse. But hey, Syracuse got wins and we don't. So
wow.
Now, John, now that man has butchered my point, my point was you can't sit up there and talk about a football team and then just say there's only 12 weeks in the season. Oh, the hell with this week. We don't need to get better. We're just going to worry about when we get better with the team that we're actually playing. The most Corso comment I ever heard in my life.
Why Dave looking at him like that, though? They were looking at him being like, hey, man,
no.
chill out.
I'm still fighting with the ESPN app. It's terrible. But go ahead. I'm listening. I'm tuning in.
I'm just saying, man, you know, he's killing me with that. But anyway, we're not going to go there. That's why we're getting all these laughing in the comments. You know, right. This will tell you all you need to know about him is Ben Corso. That's his new name.
Ben Corso.
That's his new name. But, man, we appreciate John coming on and kicking it with us for a little while as we give our picks. Ben, so do your job and update us on our picks.
All right. I will update everybody on the picks. Here we go. Right now, Nard is in the lead. 31. He's 31-12. I am 28-15. Dave is 21-12. And Tuck is 30-13.
Why did you make it seem like you was in second place though?
Well, I just went. I went on the line. That's all. I went on the line. You know what I'm talking about? 3 games back.
I don't know. So Ben, how many games have you lost this time? What's your record this time?
Hey, I'm 28-15, but I'm 3 games back, brother. I'm 3 games back.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give
creeping
you that.
On the come up.
Why you so engulfed in yourself? Let me move on. Move on to DSLpodcast.com. As y'all can see, we got some merchandise on. Dave, you got your merchandise on. I don't know if you can pull yours up or not. No, you got your stuff kind of stationary, but you can go on the site. We appreciate John for buying some merch. Also, we appreciate everybody that has done it, man. Go to the website. You can find everything there. You can find our YouTube stuff there, our Apple Podcast, Spotify, and you can find information about us and our merchandise, which we'll have more coming also. So if nothing else, we appreciate y'all's support for everything y'all do for us. But since we're here to pick some games,
let's get it.
Let's get it, man. Let's go and get into it. We're gonna start with Friday night. Let's start with Friday night. We got Iowa versus Maryland. Iowa's a 3-point favorite. Friday, 7 p.m. FS1. Since he want to talk so much, Ben gets to go first.
Well, since I rode with Iowa versus Chubba's older brother, and they did come out, and because Bernard has said he's never picking Iowa again after that debacle against
Iowa State.
Iowa
Iowa
State.
State.
I'm sorry, Iowa State. He's never picking again. So, but this game is in Maryland. Lil Tua is playing. He's in some Heisman conversations.
Put some. If he's gonna be in the Heisman conversation, can you put some respect on that man's name? Can you not call that man Lil Tua?
Just go with Leah. Just
Leah.
There you go, John.
Leah. He's in the Heisman conversation with Maryland at home at night, prime time. Give me Maryland.
For comedy's sake, I'm gonna go with Tuck next.
Oh, you already know. Due to the fact that it is in Maryland, they are playing the College Park, I think that's what it's called. Yeah.
Yes.
Give me the Terps, even though they're an Under Armour school. Give me the Terps.
Don't.
Please.
Not going to Tuck.
We had to sit there and listen to your 10 minutes about that. Tuck just doesn't believe in any school that's not a Nike school. I'll just leave it like that.
Big 10-4.
Okay, Dave, what you got, sir?
Nah, I'm going with Iowa, man. Yeah, I'm rolling with Iowa. I gotta close this gap. This win gap, so I'm going with Iowa.
Who win gap you trying to close?
I don't know. I got almost as many losses as Ben, so that can't be good.
Well, we all say, hold up.
That's
Fun
the
fact.
floor. That's the floor he's working with here.
Fun fact, we all in the same boat. 13, 12, and 15. We all rowing the same boat.
We're not in the same boat because the first number is not the same as the second number.
Exactly.
You gotta think about it.
That would be
I'm probably
important.
worse because I'm missing about 7 games.
That's right. That's why we do your other percentages.
Thank you,
Sean said Ben only one already. Now, to get a real person to actually give us some feedback, Mr. Garcia, who you got, sir?
I like what Ben is saying. I actually like Maryland. I like Maryland in this game. Look, it's going to be close. Iowa's defensive team. Defense travels, so the home field advantage is not going to be anything too scary for that group. But I don't know if Iowa can score like that. You know, Maryland,
right.
Maryland can push it down the field. Leah is spinning it. He's a good runner, much better runner than Tua, which actually started with Tua talking crap to Leah. So he started doing speed training when he was at Thompson High School. And they've got some receivers too. Rakeem Jarrett's a stud. Jashawn Jones, a Florida guy, he's a stud too. I think Maryland can push the ball down the field and just play a little too explosive for Iowa to match on offense. If this was, 2003, I'd go with Iowa. I just think you have to score nowadays, and Iowa's been squeaking by some inferior opponents, but Maryland's more explosive than anybody they've faced so far.
I hate I have to do this, but not because the reasons that someone else said on this panel, but I'm going to go with Maryland. I'm going with Maryland also. I'm going to go with Maryland. So if oh God, what is wrong? We're in the first one. I'm already agreeing with Ben. I go with them for different reasons, but we got that one. See, I don't like this already. See, he already started. Moving on, man. Let's talk about Michigan and Wisconsin. Wisconsin is a 2-point favorite. I can't believe that's right, but moving on. Wisconsin is a 2-point favorite, 11 a.m. on Fox. So since we started with him before, Mr. Benjamin, go right ahead, sir.
You know what? After the way Wisconsin looked this past week, I don't want to say that they came apart, but I mean they gave up special team scores. The defense got tired because the offense was not able to do what they needed to do and hang in that game because it was close for a while, but then things just unraveled for them, man. And if we're gonna say that this might be the year for Khaki Pants to finally do what he needs to do, this is one of those games that he needs to put a stamp on, and not only just win. He need to win this a little bit convincingly for people to start to kind of believe in Michigan and what they're trying to do this season. So give me Michigan on this one.
Okay, Mr. Tuck.
For some strange reason, I think when John is on the show, Ben actually speaks football. It's amazing.
Hey man, this is Sports Illustrated,
I was about
sir.
to say the exact same thing.
Can we get some respect?
I'm just saying. But all right, so Michigan running game is pretty good. Wisconsin rush defense is terrible. So give me Michigan and give me Jordan Brand over Under Armour next week.
John, he is strong with them brands. He believe in that.
Hey,
Dave,
when's the last time a non-Nike school won the Natty?
that's why.
John,
That's
don't
it.
do it. Don't do it. 'Cause especially he even worse.
I was
with
just going
basketball.
through in my brain. I'm like, hold on, Clemson, Bama, Ohio State.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
God.
Okay.
By the way, that answer would be Auburn in 2010. That was
Okay.
the last non-Nike school that won. But see, it's a pattern. That's all I'm gonna say.
I got you, Tuck. I understand. No problem. Dave, who you got, sir? Michigan, Wisconsin.
I'm gonna roll with Michigan, man. I think it's kind of it's just Ben.
I told you John was coming, bro.
That's what I'm saying. B is talking
So basically what he's saying is that for all these other weeks, we just get whatever the hell being we want.
Right.
We get a guest on the show. All of a sudden, he wants to start He wants to start talking like Kirk Herbstreit. Okay, got it. Noted. Go ahead, Dave. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I mean, oh God, I can't believe I'm saying this. To echo Ben's point, I'm gonna roll with Michigan. I think it's time for. I think this is an opportunity for Harbaugh to turn the corner with this program. It's a perfect opportunity here. Winnable game. You're on the road. It's 11 o'clock, but I mean, you're only a 2-point dog, so you'll be fine. Give me Michigan to win.
All righty, Mr. Garcia. Who you got, sir?
I'm 2 for 2 with Ben. I think Michigan wins.
John, do not start this trend. I promise you, bro.
It's the same analysis as the last game. I don't trust Wisconsin's offense. It's
You
just
should.
points.
Exactly.
Jump around will be fun, and it's probably going to be pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
But, Michigan's playing very good defense, and they can run the ball. So if they get anything from the passing game, I just think it just gives them breathing room.
Right.
Wisconsin, look, the run defense isn't what we're used to. They've got some good, back seven athletes against the pass. But Michigan's not going to test you that way. So the matchup kind of just works out for Michigan in this one. So I've got the Wolverines. Is
either team really going to test you passing? That's what I think about. I mean, of course, if you want to try,
Michigan goes to the freshman McCarthy.
Yeah,
maybe then.
I don't trust anything that Mertz is doing. I mean, if I'm Wisconsin, I try to lower the box against Michigan, but I think in the end, I think Michigan's going to wear them down. I think Michigan's going to get this one also. So is this a sweep?
Yes, sir. It's a sweep.
Oh, okay. Well, that answers that question. We already know what's going to happen.
Too.
Yeah,
Vegas knows something we don't know here.
They got to. They got to.
There's an injury or something.
They got to know. They got to know something with khaki pants. They got to, because I'm not seeing it. All right, I think about to get some split now. Let's go ahead. Now we're getting a little bit deeper. Let's get a little bit more split going on. All right, we got Texas versus TCU. Texas is a 4-point favorite. 11 a.m. on ABC. Mr. Benjamin, since you hot as fish grease, you go right ahead, sir.
Hey man, look, I ain't as hard as Sark. You seen what Sark just did last week, man. Opponents that he know that he can go ahead and run that thing up, he's gonna continue to run it up. Now, I'm not saying that he's gonna be able to run it up like he did against TCU, but at the same time, this is a very, very winnable game for him in the conference. Give me Texas on this one.
Why? What is going on?
I don't know. It's got to be a full move.
It's got to be the John effect.
It's got to be.
We're going 3 for 3. I'm gonna say it now.
Oh God, Dave.
I think we talked about this before. I'm going with TCU, man. I like the doggone Horned Frogs, man.
Okay,
I really do. Especially at home, that's a tough place to play. Thank God it's not at night, because at night would be really crazy. But
right,
I'm not a big believer in Texas right now. I really don't like what's at quarterback there at this moment. I'm sure that won't stay there that long. But give me TCU, man. Let's go ahead and shake this thing up in the Big 12, man.
You don't like Thompson now?
No, I don't.
The one that just came in, you don't like him either? The one he got
which one?
The one the other one you talking about the one that played against Arkansas?
That's the one I'm talking about. So
he got replaced by Thompson, the black guy.
I didn't know he got replaced, but yeah, I didn't like that. That's the last time I saw him was the Arkansas. game.
Yeah. Okay. Tuck, who you got?
This is tough. I'm gonna go with Texas on this one. I think Sark is trying to pick up a little bit of momentum.
Mhm.
Defense is playing a little bit better. That's kind of weird coming from Big 12 school, but yeah, give me Texas right now. We might change there, but Texas right now.
And since John already kind of said it before he gives it, I do want to see on TCU Day, to your point. I have one question about TCU though.
What's up?
Max Duggins was a 6-year senior before the damn pandemic. How much longer is he gonna be there?
He about to bite his baby on. Like he been there forever.
Now I forgot that I forgot they got Zach Evans. Y'all remember Zach Evans, a running back that was signed with Georgia, the 5-star running back, just like this. But
that's what Zach went.
Yeah, that's what Zach.
Okay.
Yeah, he been playing well too. But Texas, man, with Worthy and Robinson, man, they've been doing their thing. I really want to roll with Dave with TCU, but I think on this one I'm gonna have to roll with Texas. I'm gonna see what Thompson and them boys gonna continue to do.
Yeah, it's gonna be close though. I think TCU can run the ball on Texas. They're not strong up front. Their secondary is pretty good. And then on the flip side, TCU secondary is really good, but Sark don't care. He's gonna throw it anyway, regardless. And I think it could be one of those simple games where between Zach Evans and Robinson for Texas, whoever has the best game could win because the quarterbacks are a bit of a wash. I like both secondaries. Both run defenses have left a lot on the field this year, so I think it's going to be a lot of yardage and a lot of points in this one. I think Texas has a little bit more in the tank than TCU. That should be kind of a sneaky good game this weekend for sure.
Okay, so John, so we got everybody going with Texas except for Dave, right?
Yeah, this is game to kiss some ground. Well, he got 2 games to kiss some ground if you're right.
Dave,
I win TCU.
He got some more. I would say he's not finished, but since we got a few more people on here and I got a few more text messages about some stuff. John, once again, sir, give us your podcast and where they can find you since people are now trickling in and getting some messages in. Want to make sure that we promote one of the greatest non-gambling sports podcasts.
Yeah, like what up now?
No, I'm just joking, but it's really good about giving good picks and giving good insight and good information. Go ahead and give your info, sir.
It's just the Next Up podcast, or type my name in, it'll pop up. It's on Apple, it's on Spotify. There's a YouTube channel now. So it's kind of just starting this year. We're 5 episodes in, so we're just hitting the ground running in time for football season. But yeah, real casual, kind of just hanging out like you guys and making good picks or trying to make good picks against the spread, which puts a little extra sauce on it. So we spend a little more time on the pick. But we latch on to 5 games and we try to make them the 5 biggest games and tell you why we feel one way or another. So yeah, come hang out with us anytime.
I appreciate it, man. Make sure y'all follow John at John Garcia Jr. Like I said, the national recruiting director for SI.com, man. They do great content with the SI 99. So make sure y'all following John, man. They give it to you as real can get. The SI crew over there is doing great. But moving back into some games. I already know what one of these persons is going. We got number 8 Oklahoma versus Kansas State. Oklahoma is a 10.5 point favorite. This game at 2:30 p.m. on Fox. Since he likes to be the magic bean, go ahead, Mr. I can't take nothing from that shirt.
I mean, I'm going to talk on this one. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm going with Oklahoma on this. I mean, I know that they have had their issues with Kansas State in the past. Trust me, I know. But this one is a 2:30 kick. It ain't an 11 o'clock early lazy kick. They've had their issues with them in the past. But I'm going to rock with Oklahoma on this one. They're going to follow up with what they did against West Virginia last week, and they're going to keep it going.
Lost 3 in a row to Kansas State.
Yeah.
So
they've had their warts with them for sure.
I mean, you can't really say too much about that. Mr. Tuck, what you got?
Little Apple is no longer any kind of significance this year. It's Oklahoma. It's not even close. I think Spencer gets it together. Rattler gets it together, and I think he puts on a good performance in Little Manhattan.
Okay, Mr. Gardner.
For the trigger.
Do it.
Pull it.
How many years in a row has Kansas State won this game?
3.
And I can think of those 3 years. I believe that Oklahoma team was a little bit better than this one.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas State may have been a little bit better, but still, I digress. Yeah, man, I'm rolling with Kansas State. Oklahoma, they're going to drop. I'm going to go out on a limb. I will keep losing these Oklahoma picks until they actually win one. Because I'm not going to pick them no more. It don't even matter who they play. I'm not picking Oklahoma.
But you know who the fans want. You know who the fans want. They're tired of Spencer. You know who the fans. They want who John was telling us about for the longest. You know who the fans want.
Well, the fans, the most popular person on any team is the backup quarterback, as we all know all too well.
I mean, it's only so long you can keep crossing this train track while the arms are coming down and you just keep zigzagging through there.
Right.
Eventually that train going to be a little closer.
Well, with your picks against Oklahoma, which one are you? Are you the train track or are you the arms going down?
Hey, the train is on the track, Tuck. I hear the horn. You hear the horn. But they gonna ride Spencer Rattler. They gonna keep on going right over the track. Now they see the train. They hear the train. They got to pick this Saturday, man. Give me.
I hear the horn. You hear the horn. I got to pick that.
We got some folks riding with you, Dave. We got some folks riding with you.
They got right on into 0-4.
Jeremiah Thomas said K-State winning for a third year, which really be the fourth year. So, but hey, so John, who you got, sir?
No, I'm going chalk here. I think Oklahoma needs kind of a remember me kind of win. They survived West Virginia. West Virginia is really good.
Yes,
they should have beat Maryland week 1. That was a shootout. That was a classic kind of like Big 12 style shootout, and they just were one play short. They're a top 25 type team, so that was a real big win for Oklahoma. And Oklahoma's defense has been pretty good. I know everybody's talking about Rattler, and yeah, they need things to change. But I think the two things about Oklahoma this year is the defense is playing better, and they can run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Gray, the Tennessee transfer, is a real shifty cat, and Kennedy Brooks sat out last year. He's a big-time back, too. So I think Oklahoma can take some off of Rattler and run the football and play really good defense against a team that wants to do the same thing. So kind of like I was talking about the running back matchup for the TCU Texas game. This is another running back matchup that I really like. But I just think Oklahoma's got just too much talent, too many horses to win. I mean, 4 years in a row would be
crazy.
It'd be crazy. It'd be wild.
One streak. That's wild.
I mean, because that means they beat, Rattler, Jalen Hurts. They beat Kyler Murray.
Yep.
Kyler Murray, yeah.
It's a heck of a game plan that just happens to be winning, even through 2 head coaches, which is again crazy. It has to stop, right? I mean, it has to stop at some point.
Not Saturday.
Not Saturday.
I think it stops Saturday, but it won't be. I don't think it's a blowout or anything like that.
Right.
Like if I'm betting on this game, I'm thinking a lot harder about it.
Right.
But straight up, I think Oklahoma gets it done. They're gonna play well, especially on defense.
Well, my keys is like looking at it and looking at the game for a second. It was like, okay, Kansas State has done this. No Skylar Thompson. The backup got hurt. Now you're down to your third string, Jaron Lewis. I think that's his name, Jaron Lewis. So they're going to run the ball with Deuce Vaughn and try to do that kind of stuff. But if Oklahoma lose this one with the third string quarterback playing, I just rather just take my chances. Give me OU.
Yeah.
Give me OU. Which would mean that the backup gonna come in and ball, and he's gonna be great to go.
It's gonna come down to a field goal now.
Yeah, you already know. Take the points.
But Oklahoma's field goal kicker is that dude.
He's good.
He got ice in his vein, bro. They were showing the stats with him last week before he kicked against West Virginia, and they like, bro, he got ice.
He was smiling, and he was just like
he was ready. He was loose.
I like that.
Next on the docket, let's see who we got here. Let's take this one off. Next on the docket is going to be, I guess I have to make a pick in this game if I want to do my preseason, right? We got Florida versus Kentucky. Florida is an 8.5-point favorite, 5 p.m. on ESPN.
Now,
more running backs, baby.
I'm finna go ahead and pre-warn John. Here is where it's gonna get interesting right here. So
Yeah,
right now,
let's see
start
what we
paying
got.
attention to these picks right now, John.
Yeah, let's see where it goes. Let's go, Ben.
All
Let's
right,
go,
come
sir.
on, Mr. FSU.
All right, now we got Florida and Kentucky.
You know his hatred is high.
It's high. It's up there. It's up there, man. Stoops. You know what, Stoops? We should have went ahead and got after you, but that's a whole nother story for another day. Look here, Stoops. You got one job. That's all you need to do. We need to take care of business, Stoops. I am calling Kentucky with the upset. I don't believe in Emory. I don't think that this is going to carry over for a third week in a row. Give me Kentucky and give me blue with the upset, baby. Give me Kentucky on this one. Kentucky.
We shouldn't even count. We should when we pick Florida State, or Miami. We shouldn't even count being picked. He should get 2 losses for picking those games.
We should have told Ben that Miami's getting whooped at home by.
I'm looking at it's 19-7. I'm looking at
that should alleviate some of that and make you a little bit more level-headed for these.
I need them all bad. I need them Florida fans to feel bad because they still riding high on that moral victory. So you know what I'm saying?
That's garbage.
Exactly.
John, please don't help. Hey, I know. I'm telling you, we're gonna start getting you 2 losses, bro. I'm gonna start giving you 2 losses. But anyway, Mr. Tuck, how you doing, sir? What you got?
Oh man, Kentucky defense is still there, right? So yeah, give me Florida. Give me Florida.
Okay, Dave.
Yeah, give me Florida, man. I think Florida is a solid. I really think Florida's a solid team. I mean, honestly, I think that they're going to only get better as the year go on, and then actually I look for them to do some great things next year. But I think they're going to build off of this. Give me Florida this game.
And Mr. Garcia.
Again, more running backs. I like both of these groups. Rodriguez is nice at Kentucky. If you guys,
he is.
I know you guys have watched him. If people listening haven't watched him, that's an NFL back, big, powerful
all day.
Kavase Smoke behind him, a Wetumpka kid. It's a nice 1-2 punch. Florida's got 3 of them, and they're all playing better. They're all playing better, and obviously the quarterback is going to run too. And that's a lot for Kentucky's defense to deal with. I'm with you, Ben. I think Emory as a passer still leaves a lot of room for growth, but the Gators can run the ball like this is like a Dan Mullen, Mississippi State kind of team in terms of just running it downhill. This is like what Auburn wants to be, is what Florida's doing right now.
322 yards per game on the ground.
Yeah, that's Gus Malzahn peak Auburn power spread right there.
So you got Florida.
I got Florida. Yep, 2 touchdowns.
I'm conflicted because I picked Kentucky to be second in the East. So maybe some magical way, somebody else will lose an extra game along the way. But Florida is definitely more legit. I know people have their issues dealing with Emory, but you would never know what that kind of game of playing against that type of talent against the name Alabama, what they could do for their kid moving forward. And Will Levis has just been he's been better than Emory, but Kentucky defense is tough. But if Florida's gonna push Bama around like that up front, I have to go with Florida. I love Kentucky as a team, and maybe they'll get another loss somewhere else, but I have to go with Florida right now, just based off everything I see. Because that Florida D line is nasty too.
Nasty.
And Rodriguez leads the SEC in rushing, just in case y'all didn't know who that was. So y'all need to be following along.
Yeah,
he's a real good player. So moving on to the next game. This one has got a local flavor to it, of course. We got Liberty at UAB with opening Protective Stadium, downtown Birmingham. Right now, capacity is 47, almost 48,000, can be expandable up to 75,000, of course. But it's 47, 48,000. It's going to be emotional. Going to be a lot of ceremonies going on. So we got Liberty with Mr. Malik Willis versus UAB. UAB is a 1.5 point favorite. UAB has been really solid. I don't think a lot of people have been paying attention as much to UAB as they need to be. But Ben, who you got?
Man, it's real simple, man. Liberty messed up my ticket last week. I'm not fooling with them. Give me UAB, man. Simple. I would have been undefeated if it weren't for damn Liberty and that foolishness that they pulled off last week, man. Give me
Liberty
UAB.
Bibbity.
Hey,
Don't
fellas.
underestimate Syracuse.
The University of Liberty.
Liberty Bibbity.
Hey, fellas. He's back.
I told you. That's this Florida pick. These picks are gonna get interesting. I told
Okay.
y'all. I knew it.
You knew it, didn't you? So okay, so Ben, who you got? So Tuck, who you got, man?
Last week, Liberty University, I said, "Give me liberty or give me death." They gave me death. So I'm
Yeah,
not
they gave
gonna
you
take
death
that.
last week.
Yeah, give me the Blazers in the brand new spanking new home stadium downtown, represent the 205. Give me UAB.
Mr. Gardner, sir.
Hey man, it's no way. It's no way. Ain't no what they say. Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way I can go ain't no way I can go against the Blazers. Not on this weekend.
No, not the first weekend.
No, not opening night. Not opening night.
No, not opening night. You know, it's something about opening night, guys. It's just different. You know,
it's been a month. Like it's crazy. Like they literally waited a month. Like it's been a month. They didn't play there the whole month of September, and they kicking it off in October. Man, it's been a month.
They are about to actually play in a stadium where somebody can sing the Star Spangled Banner and the speakers don't crack. So listen.
Yeah, John, we'll tell you about Legion Field sound system another day.
I don't think you have to inform John. I think John knew exactly what Dave was talking about when he said
system. We've had concerts in there and it's been cracked for another day.
Go ahead, Dave.
Give me UAB, guys. I gotta go with the Blazers. Go Blazers.
Okay, Mr. Garcia, sir.
I'm not about to be the guy that comes on the college game day set and picks the other team. Look, I had Liberty beating Syracuse too. I was wrong. I think Malik Willis is a superstar. I actually watched him in person this offseason at the Elite 11. I mean, he looks like a running back. I mean, this is certified NFL pedigree, all of those things.
Thick-legged.
But around him, it's not the same attack as last year. They're a little bit younger on defense. I just don't trust it as much. And UAB, veterans everywhere. Johnston has been there for 20 years. Bill Clark can scheme it up. I think the Georgia game diluted the perception of UAB. But this Georgia team's a juggernaut. I know we'll talk about them later. They're a legitimate juggernaut. This is like, if this ain't Georgia's year, I don't know when it's going to come.
We all said it.
So yes, they blew out UAB, but they should have blown out anybody outside of the Power Five. So I think UAB is a really good team. Just all the emotion, all the things you guys talked about. I think all of it clicks, and Willis will make his plays. But I think UAB gets into the high 20s, low 30s as well. So I just don't know if Willis has that much in him based on those around him at this time. So give me the Blazers.
And I think that was the biggest thing when looking at Liberty. It was like Malik is everything. He's the off. I mean, he's the runner. He's the passer. He's everything when it comes to it. And like you said, the cast around him is not the same. And I know that I think his name is Dylan Hopkins has been taking over for UAB. And I know the tight end is, they apparently they have like 3 or 4 really good tight ends. So and one big play wide receiver. But I think it's gonna be a great show for UAB to be there and for Malik and them to be there. But I think, like everybody else is saying, it's like I think it's the emotion and playing that first game, and if nothing else, Bill Clark gonna have them ready. So you already know that. So I'm not gonna be that person either, John. I would just take that loss if it happens. Give me them Blazers. I'm not gonna be that person, guys.
Blaze on.
Now, I wonder which game that's left is gonna be the Cash App game of the week. You know what? Where's Pat? Pat been mighty quiet this week.
He dropped out that 5. He dropped out that 5 real subtle. He dropped that 5 off, right before we started the show. He dropped that 5 off real subtle.
Oh, he must be busy. He must be doing something because he sure ain't been running his mouth. But let's go with number 21 Baylor versus number 19 Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State is a 3.5-point favorite. This game is 6 p.m. on ESPN 2. Mr. Dennis, Mr. I ain't never seen a game that I ain't want to talk about.
Hey man, look, give me Arianda and them Baylor Bears, man. I like what they did last week. I like how they looking, man. Arianda got them boys chomping at the bit. He got them ready. I'm not fooling with business in the front and party in the back. So give me Baylor.
So Ben's not a fan of the mullet. That's what's up.
I'm not a fan of the mullet.
That's all I got from that. The Ben's not a fan
Your
of the
boy
mullet.
been rocking
That's
that
all I
mullet
got
since
from
he
that.
was the quarterback at the damn school. Somebody told him it was fly, and he been rocking it ever since the damn.
There's Corso. There's the Corso.
Ben, guess what? He's a man and he's over 40.
And he's over 40. You're damn right. You're damn right.
That's that.
But he had theirs back.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Lord. Let me bring some order back. Tuck, what is your pick, sir?
I'm going to go with the Pokes, man. I'm going with the Cowboys on this one.
Okay.
Home team. This is home team advantage. Baylor did do, like I said, Baylor did some good things. They got a signature win finally. In the Dave era. So give me. But I just don't think. I think they got to come down from that high. So give me the Pokes close. So,
Mr. Gardner, I know you might be conflicted here.
Oh, we already know who he picking.
Hey man, listen.
Sickle.
Listen. Who picked Baylor last week? Who go in the records? Research department. Who picked Baylor?
I got you. Baylor last week. We all did except for one Renard.
Did they win last week? I don't remember.
Yeah.
You picked Iowa State.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did that. You did that to yourself.
I owe everybody $5 on this show just because I told y'all I wasn't gonna do that no more.
You did it. You did it again.
You did it again.
We got $15 coming to the show account because Lord have mercy. I'm punishing myself because I told y'all after Iowa State and I saw that massacre,
that turnover machine.
That whole everything, I said no, never again, and then I did it again. So no, but go ahead, Dave. I digress.
Like I said, this Big 12 is about to get real ugly. I'm telling you, down the stretch, it's about to get real tricky. This is one of those type games. Give me Baylor, give me the Bears, sick them. Let's keep it rolling.
Okay, John, who you got, sir?
I think this is close. I'm with all of you guys. I think this is a defensive game in the Big 12. I think Oklahoma State's defense has been really, really good. Kind of sneaky, though, because they haven't been blowing people out. So when they play lesser teams and don't blow them out, your radar is like, what's wrong with Oklahoma State? And, yeah, the offense isn't as explosive as it's been, but the defense is better than it's been. So I like Oklahoma State in a close one. I do like what Baylor's been doing, but that's tough to duplicate 2 weeks in a row. That Iowa State game, like Iowa State had like 5 chances to win that game, and Baylor survived it. So I don't know if that carries over to the next week. I think it's low scoring, physical, just all the things we don't say about the Big 12.
Right.
Game. I wouldn't bet on this one, but picking it straight up, I'll pick Oklahoma State.
Okay.
Bernard, sidebar. Just one real quick, John. How do you feel about Matt Campbell? Just a brief 2-second
like
question. In general, because I mean, when all these coaching jobs always come up, his name is like always at the top of the damn list. It always comes up. And then you look at what he's been doing, especially against his rivals, and it's just like, why?
Yeah, never beat Iowa.
Never.
Right.
And has just this is supposed to be his team this year. It was supposed to be the year that it got over the hump, and you can see it right out of the gate. They almost lost week 1 to Tulsa?
Tulsa.
Yeah.
It was. I remember last year they lost to Louisiana. To open the season
lost up. Louisiana Lafayette.
Right.
So yeah, they've found a way to shrink in big games. I think he's a great motivator. I think he's a culture builder to get from basement to contender. But there's a whole nother level or two that he could get to. So I'm not quite there on him as a big time program coach.
Right.
But I understand why it was an easy pick for people this season. Let's be honest. They knew the coach's name and they knew the quarterback and the running back. So people were like, well, they got to be good. And they had the conference player of the year on defense coming back. So like, well, 3 guys.
That's it.
Other 19 you might not know. Let's roll Iowa State. And I think that in the preseason drives a lot of content, and people buy into it and they see it. So I don't think it's a total indication of Campbell. I think he's a good coach. He doesn't have the talent even that Oklahoma State has, in my opinion. So he's overachieved to a degree, but there's always a ceiling to those guys, unfortunately. It's like a Hugh Freeze and Liberty this year. I mean, they've overachieved, so you just expect it to keep climbing. But once you put that tape out there, it kind of catches up. And Purdy, I think Purdy's, being a 4-year starter hasn't been the best to him because he's got a lot of vulnerabilities that have been out there. So
that are coming out.
I think they'll be okay, but I think he should stay there and try to do it long term because I don't think he's ready for USC or if Miami comes open or Penn State, if Franklin goes to USC. I don't think he's ready for any of those.
Or LSU.
Yeah, LSU could come over. Yeah, it's a good year to be a hot name, but you got to win before that point. So yeah,
I was just curious about that because his name always pops up, so I just was curious about that.
Just couldn't wait till I make my pick, huh? You just had to do it.
Well, it was since what was.
It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke, man. It's a joke, man.
Question.
It is. No, it was a great question. It's a great question, especially when you get someone like John's perspective on that, because I think we all were in that same Iowa State bandwagon, or with Matt Campbell, you got to show me a little bit more. But Baylor, Oklahoma State has a lot of injuries right now. Running back, wide receiver, even some on defense. Smith is running the ball good, and Bohannon has been surprisingly pretty good at quarterback. Surprising to me. So give me them Baylor Bears. I'm rolling with them. Sick them, baby. Sick them. Now I think we about to get let's get down. But speaking of this team, before we even get to this game, Arkansas. Now I know the line. I know the line is high, but I gotta put this game on here. John, every year we find certain people to give them nicknames. We have a new one this year. Actually, we could have gave it to him last year, but Jordan Davis. When Montravius Adams was at Auburn, we called him the 1 and the 3 gap. Jordan Davis is just all gaps. That's his nickname. I actually tweeted it to him on his Instagram, like, hey, your new nickname is Mr. All Gaps, because nobody should humanly be possible to run and do what that guy does on that type of talent-laden defense. It's absolutely ridiculous what that guy does when it comes to that. But that's so Mr. All Gaps is playing at 11 a.m. On ESPN along with the rest of the boys, and we got the hottest coach in the country, Sam Pittman, and them Arkansas Razorbacks. Georgia is almost a 20-point favorite.
Is KJ Jefferson playing?
Yeah.
Okay, I know he got banged up last
week. But he playing.
I know he got banged up last week, so I was just wondering was he playing. That's all.
Yeah. Ben, who you got?
Oh, it ain't swinging nothing, but I just wondered was he playing. It ain't swinging.
You're setting it up, man.
Look, Georgia's one of those teams that actually are playing defense this year, and they actually are embracing it. Like you seeing the tweets, you seeing the quotes that they're putting out about. I think there was a quote this week. They said that we don't give a damn if it was the New England Patriots. We're gonna try to keep them out the end zone. So it's like their defense their defense has really. They like, look, we know what we are, and we're gonna continue to do what we're doing. Man, give me Georgia, man. I like the fighting Pittmans. Y'all know I do, but I can't rock with them on this one, man. Give me Georgia on this.
Sean still saying about Arkansas finishing second in the West. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Go ahead, Tuck. Who you got?
I said the whole year that I would not pick against the fighting Sam Pittmans. Today is a different day. We all know how good Georgia is. We all defensively, we all know how good Georgia is. They have a pretty good running back with
who you talking about for Arkansas?
White. No, I'm talking about Georgia. See, Arkansas has some good pieces, but are they going to be elite enough to get past the Georgia defense? And that answer is no. Give me Georgia, and they will cover the spread.
Okay, Dave.
Who's Georgia's starting quarterback this week?
JT Daniels.
Oh, okay. That makes it a little easier on me. Coming into this matchup, man, all week I've been thinking upset. But it's just something when those names came up on the screen, I'm like, I think Georgia.
Tell the truth, shame the devil.
If they don't do it this year, guys,
they ain't gonna do it. If they don't happen this year, it ain't happening.
Give me Georgia, man. I'm not sold on the offense. I'm really not. I love their running backs though. They run hard. I like all the backs. I'm just not sold yet. I don't know if anybody in that wide receiver group has really just separated themselves from the pack yet. With the big injury to Malik, that took a little wind out of themselves. But they ultra talented. The defense is lights out. I got to agree with Sean. I think Arkansas finished second in the West, but give me Georgia in this game.
I think Jackson might have stepped up a little bit more. I think he's expanding his game as far as the receiver wise. And what's the name? I think Darnell Washington's getting ready to come back too. At the tight end position. That should help them a lot. Definitely. But John, who you got, sir?
Yeah, it's Georgia for me. This defense is a legendary defense in the making to me. Now, Arkansas is good, and they outlasted a really good defense in A&M, which is not getting the credit it deserves because their offense is flat at this point. But this Georgia unit up front is just disgusting. It's like gross. It's
them pass are just coming together.
And they've got edge talent. They've got a ton of interior talent. And if you like watching fast flow linebackers, watch Quay Walker and watch those guys. Nakobe Dean, my goodness.
Bernard been talking about him for years. Nakobe.
He's like an Avenger. That front set, the secondary is younger relative to recent years. That front seven is absurd. And Arkansas, we know with Pittman, they want to run it. So this is strength versus strength. Mm-hmm. Pittman knows those guys. He knows what he's up against. But just like we've learned with Saban over the years, that don't always help you out on Saturdays with your new squad. It'll be a good game. I think Arkansas can hang in it. Mm-hmm. I don't like the line. I think the line is a little heavy. I think this is somewhere 31-10, something like that, 31-13 kind of range. I just think Georgia's way too powerful defensively, and offensively they're getting healthy, like you said, Renard. They're getting healthy. Washington's back. They got a bunch of tight ends. The freshman Brock Bowers is a stud. He might be on the Mackey list as a true freshman. We know they can run the ball, and Daniels is still. He kind of needs this spotlight game because the Clemson game wasn't it, right? Neither offense deserved anything in that game, and both defenses held the other team to 3 points, but of course Georgia got the pick six.
One touchdown the whole game.
So JT Daniels kind of needs this game. Like we were talking about, Oklahoma needs that game. I think JT needs this game. He needs kind of that validating game for some of the hype, and I think he makes the throws when it counts on third down and protects the football. So I think Georgia, but it'll be a fun, real physical game. I mean, watch this first quarter because these kids are going to be flying out there. It's going to be real fun.
Y'all see who chiming in, don't you, Miss?
Now, John, you think that I'm a hater? Damien absolutely despises Jimbo Fisher. Everything about him.
Damien, it's all. You got a 6 o'clock morning on Jocks. You got to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning, sir, for your show. You cannot be putting out this type of hate late at night, sir. I know how you feel about it, man. I know how you feel it, man. But y'all know who this is. This is Damian Mitchell, man. He's the producer for the McElroy and Kubler show on Jocks on 94.5. Really good friend of the show, man. We call him nephew because he ain't about 17 years old. You know, he's so young. But Damian, appreciate you chiming in. But man, it's definitely gonna be. Hold on, Jordan Davis playing, right?
Yeah.
Dean is playing, right?
Yeah.
Adam Anderson playing, right?
Yep.
Okay. Georgia. I like Burks. I like Smith, but give me.
Yeah, Burks is a monster now.
Yeah, he's a dog. And I even like what's the guy I always talk about in the secondary for Arkansas? Number one.
Number one.
Yeah. Is it Montero Brown or
it's the other one. It starts off with a C. I can't remember. But that guy. I mean, that
Catalan.
guy. Yeah, Catalan. Yeah. I mean, he's good. But I think they're gonna fight. But I'm kind of like John. I think in the end they're gonna end up pulling away. So yeah, give me Georgia. I'm sitting this game out.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Hey, Pat.
Hold on. I'm looking around, looking for my daddy. Since I am told
I ain't your daddy.
But
I'll mute myself. Y'all know I ain't finna do that. Y'all know I don't get down like that. All right, we got Auburn versus LSU. Tuck, get back here, Tuck. We got LSU's a 4-point favorite. I think if you have not listened to our latest pod talking about TJ Finley and Bo Nix and also the firing of Cornelius Williams and all that good stuff, we just dropped that today from what we recorded. And yeah, you don't want to miss that one. Y'all know how to check it out in the YouTube link. And just go to dslpodcast.com. It'll be right there for you. But Ben, I don't know where you leaning on this one, but I need to know where you at.
I know where you lean.
What you got?
I mean, look. I mean, y'all gave us a lot of great info last night. I mean, it was a very informative show about everything that was going on the plains.
What we can say publicly.
What we can say publicly. I mean, and y'all informed me. You know, y'all let me know, like, hey man, it was this, it was that, and I was feeling y'all, man. I was rocking with the vibe. I appreciate that, but.
I knew a crossover bet was coming.
I am not rocking with all of that turmoil down there in Baton Rouge at night. That stadium gonna be rocking, and I hope they put Finley in the game. I hope they put him in the game because them boys is gonna come at him. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about that. Because them boys is gonna come at him, guns blazing, man. Give me them Bayou Tigers. Give me LSU on this one.
Mr. Chauncey Tuck.
Fun fact, I will be down in Baton Rouge this weekend.
Jealous.
Due to all the turmoil that Benjamin has brought up to our attention that we didn't already know about.
Hey man, y'all broke me in last night.
Let me tell you something. With all the turmoil that has happened on the field, off the field, this actually plays into Auburn's favor. And if anybody knows how this series goes, this is pretty much Auburn's chance to win this ball game. I say this because LSU ended up losing to Troy the game before, the week before Auburn played LSU, and Auburn got up by 21 points, and Gus lost that game. Well, Auburn almost lost to Georgia State last week.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Auburn close. I'm gonna have my cigar ready to light them up.
You a brave man.
It hasn't happened since 1997, and that was the last. Another fun fact: that was the last time I was down in Baton Rouge when Auburn won, with my uncles at the Auburn game. So I'm going down there to end this streak. It's time. Let's go.
War Eagle.
Well, look, so I'll be in the booth too. I'll be right there at Grambling/Monroe.
Sir.
So you know, if you know what I'm saying, if you need something, to hit my line, man. I'm gonna be right there in the booth with you. I'm not hitting your line. You picked
LSU, so
you know, if you need to hit my line, hit my line.
Mr. Gardner. I think I know where you're going, but go ahead, sir.
Ain't no way. After the debacle, the Georgia State debacle, and the referees with the Christmas bonus.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I said it. I mean, looking at it from a team standpoint, I think the teams are. I mean, I don't think really a whole lot. I don't think neither team is special. They have some special pieces at some different positions, but as a team versus team, I really believe it's kind of a even matchup, so to speak. Neither program is really jumping off the screen to me this year. So
therefore, you can take away 3. So you basically got a 1-point game at a neutral site. So yeah.
Right. So that's what those the vibes I'm getting. But I do see QB controversy on the Plains. I do see, the firing of the young coach, but I also see Death Valley at night. And the last time Tuck was there, Auburn won, which means it's going to do totally opposite this time. Tuck, you the reason why Auburn's going to lose. So you need to stay at home. So give me Auburn. Give me LSU. Give me LSU in a tight one, man. I'm talking 3 points or less. I mean, really, that's what we're looking at.
John?
Okay.
I'm ready to roll the dice. LSU can't run the football
at all.
Auburn's strength is its secondary.
Mm-hmm.
LSU secondary is pretty good too, but it looks like Stingley's not going to play
again.
I think defensively Auburn can clamp LSU. So the question becomes, offensively, what can Auburn do? Not what will they do. What can they do? What are they going to allow themselves to do based on this quarterback situation? The answer should be it don't matter because they're going to run the football. And this LSU defense isn't the type of group we're used to seeing on the field. So I think the points are going to be at a premium in this game. Really, really low scoring in this one. I think this could be the Tank Bigsby game. We've been waiting for that one. I could see it happening in this game. And I think the letdown against Georgia State can bounce you back as a program. When you don't play the way you think you should, there's a bit of a wake-up built in there. And I'm not going to touch on the coaching situation.
Yeah, let's not touch on that. That's a sensitive subject.
Independent of that, there's a wake-up, bounce-back kind of factor in this game. Auburn knows the history at LSU. I don't trust Max Johnson. I don't trust the running game at LSU, and I think they're susceptible to the run on defense. It's not like Gardner was saying, this is not your typical Auburn LSU game where it's like there's one of these teams has that thing and they're just kind of unbeatable. I thought the first half LSU played against Mississippi State, I was starting to say, okay, maybe they're getting over this hump, but they let them right back in it, and it was just kind of wide open football. So if Auburn widens them out, widens this game and runs the football, I think they can have some nice success in this one. So in a very old school SEC score, give me Auburn in this game. I don't know if I would take them against, or I would take LSU with the points, but head up, give me Auburn, run the football, Tank Bigsby, Hunter, those guys get loose, and the quarterback situation doesn't bite Auburn in this game because I think they're able to control the clock.
Good. Those are all really good points. I'm with you on some of them. I will say I think these guys will tell you that I said going into the beginning of the year, the strength of this team was going to be the back seven on as far as defense. I think the secondary has had issues mainly, but it seems to all be communication issues. Which that's on Mason and that's on the coaches that's there, because it's not like they're getting burned in coverage. It's like it's bust in coverage. It's like I don't understand how you have the same problem, but so when I look at that, and I believe McCreary can lock down Butte, I do, but it just all depends on how the game goes. The LSU just seems to be missing a little bit up front. This year, like you said, cannot run the ball. I think I used Tuck word 2 weeks ago when I was talking about these two teams are trash. When we talking about LSU and somebody else about the way they run the ball, like it's just surprising to see that. But like Butte is the only guy on that offense that just puts fear in you. That's actually showing up right now. And as far as like the Auburn stuff, like with TJ and all that kind of stuff like that, I think that's. In one way, I think it's good because the reason I think it's good is like as Harsin, you got to put your head down and you got to say, this is what I'm establishing. I'm establishing, hey, it's any man's job. It's competition. It is what it is. And he's just about doing whatever he got to do to try the best to get a job done. Like feelings be down. And I'm interested to see how they bounce back. They talk about strength and character and all this other type of stuff like that, but can they break the streak? We'll see. I'm going to go 21-20. Carson kicks a field goal to walk off. That's
Now I do see it coming
it.
down to that either way. I definitely see it being close.
And we have that history. We don't have that Miami, Florida State history in field goals, but we do have that. There's that history with that Auburn game. But we'll talk more about that Saturday morning maybe. But it's just more onto that. But moving on to the next game, we got 2 more games left. Let's talk about this one first. Let's talk about the Lane train rolling into Brian Denny with the Heisman Trophy front runner, in my opinion, Mr. Matt Corral, coming in there with a good running game, with a good receiver, and you know you got a damn good coach on the sideline with an improving better D. Let's see how some of y'all feel on that. Ben, let's start with you, sir.
When I watched Ole Miss versus Louisville, I was impressed by their defense because we all came into the game expecting it to be a shootout. We all thought it was going to be a shootout. It was going to be back and forth. But Ole Miss's defense, the way that they have come out early on in this season, has shocked a lot of people. I mean, we all had to run a joke about they had the worst defense in the nation. And their defense is playing adequate enough to complement their offense. And when you look at the game from last year, they were able to score almost 50 points on Bama. And we all said if they had any damn defense, they probably would have walked out of there and won that game. So if we're going to piggyback that into this season right here, and the defense is actually playing adequate enough, and we saw that Bama offense, ain't nobody, for all the Bama fans get mad, ain't nobody saying that y'all have fallen off or anything like that. But we saw y'all, as we said, get kind of pushed around a little bit against Florida in the trenches. I'm going to rock with Lane, man. I think that this might be one of those times where his defense is going to come to play, and Corral is going to do enough to pull this out. I like Ole Miss in not necessarily a shootout, 40 to 30 something. Give me Ole Miss. I'm taking Ole Miss with the upset.
Mr. Gardner.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yes, sir.
Well, I was just kind of getting my thoughts together. You know, first thing that sticks out to me is when I look at this game is, and I take in consideration last year's game, and my question is to myself is which team got better from last year to this year? Which team made strides? Because it was such a close margin between them last year. And I would probably have to give a check mark to Ole Miss of being the team that got a little better. Not that Bama's still Bama. You know, Bama's Bama. But I mean, I don't see Waddle is good, but I don't see a Ruggs. I don't see a Judy. I don't see that. You know, that Smith, that's different. I don't see that. But you know, again, Bama's Bama. With that being said, I think Lane Kiffin can come into Tuscaloosa and get this game. I really do. I think that Ole Miss can make enough stops, can actually make a stop this year versus what they could make a stop last year. But I think that they can do it, man. So I'm going to roll the dice with Ole Miss, not because Bama is not my favorite team, but just because I think that Ole Miss got better in some key areas, and Bama just, I don't know. They just Bama. I don't know if you can get better. Can you get better at the wide receiver position for Bama than that?
I mean, Michi trying to continue on with that trend. Michi trying to continue on with the trend.
Well, you got Michi, and right now you got Williams that's stepping up, and then you got JoJo Earl. I think that's his name. That's actually going to be the ones that's going to be the ones at the end of the year. That's probably going to be the one that's going to be there. So it's still going to be them 4 or 5 they're going to have.
Well, I guess the thing that really solidifies my pick is that I heard what the terminology Renard Williams said, stepping up, going to be. Past Alabama teams didn't really need to stepping up or going to be. Those guys were there.
They were there.
They were. You knew who Smith and the other guys were. But I'm just gonna roll with Ole Miss, man. I think they can come get that game. I really do.
Okay.
All righty. So that leads you to Mr. Tuck.
This game
What
was
you got?
hard. This game was very hard for many reasons. But how many times? How many assistants have beaten Nick Saban? That's just zero.
Not a single one.
Lane came probably the closest, other than Kirby, probably the closest during the regular season to beating Nick. Lane wants to be the first. Lane is going to be the first. Give me Ole Miss
Oh Lord,
and
sweet
they
Jesus.
upset. And
It's
they
Ole
upset.
Miss everywhere. Ole Miss in the comments. Ain't
I
nobody said Alabama Ole Miss on the show.
This is crazy.
This is
if
absolutely
if
insane, and I think I know why.
It's, it's
But
it's the corral effect, man. Like that kid is special,
bro.
man.
man, let me tell
And
you,
Ole Miss the
look,
defense
Will Anderson
play
is that
decent.
dude, but
Yeah.
Alabama secondary is still a little shaky to me. Yeah, they're still a little shaky, and they haven't been tested yet. They got receivers all over the field, and they have a pretty decent running game. Ole Miss does. So you mix in a little bit of that.
Well, they running game is
Alabama,
actually what sets up they pass more than the other way around now.
right? So I'm. It's gonna be close, but give me like I said, it's in Bryant Denny. But give me Ole Miss, man. Lane.
John.
Yeah, I didn't think I didn't think we'd have so much red and blue on these picks, but I get it, right? I mean, last year was nobody thought last year it was going to be that kind of shootout, right? Everybody knew with time, yes, Lane Kiffin's going to build there. He's going to sell the SEC to recruits, and eventually, maybe he becomes the first assistant to beat Nick, and that might still happen.
Right.
So, but it was so accelerated last year that you're like, whoa, now they look better. So you can make the argument, especially with what Alabama lost, that this will be the year or the game, I should say. And I'm close. I'm really close. This is one of the games I picked on my pod. I picked Ole Miss with the points for sure. I thought the spread would be around 10. I saw it closer to 15. I was like, points. But
Go ahead, say it.
There were alphas on that Ole Miss team last year that they don't quite have this year. Elijah Moore went crazy. The tight end, your boy, had like 3 touchdowns. I thought that was the best opportunity because now Nick has seen it. Nick has seen
that's true.
Now and Nick doesn't play the personal game, but we saw a little snippet on Monday night when Peyton was talking about Kirby. Kirby and Lane rub him a certain way in terms of wanting to beat
because they close. Because they close.
It's because they're the closest. And Nick also knows that Lane has nothing to lose in this game. So Corral's improvement has been viewed as he's efficient, he's running the ball well, and he's not turning it over. They're going to go for it on 4th down. I would expect trick play. I mean, this is going to be a funky early game here. But I think after that point, it cools down. Bryce Young will protect the football better than Matt Corral in this game. And it's not because of Bama's secondary. It's Bama's pass rush. That's the unit that is the difference to me relative to the other team. I just think Alabama can get after Corral like nobody's been able to so far on the Ole Miss schedule. And those teams that they've dominated, it doesn't feel the same as it did when they dominated them. The Louisville domination doesn't feel as comfortable as it was relative to when they did it. Tulane, they beat after Tulane scared Oklahoma, but now as we look at Oklahoma, we're like, well, maybe Oklahoma's not as great as we thought. So that feels a little bit, less powerful. And then the other win was Austin Peay. So I think there's still an untested element of this Ole Miss team as well. So those things point to Bama. It's in Tuscaloosa. I just think Bama takes control of this game late in the second half. But I think they have to do it with their run game, which we haven't seen yet. So I was talking about it with Auburn. I think this is the Tank Bigsby game for Auburn. This needs to be it doesn't have to be Brian Robinson, but this needs to be the Bama running game. Because one way to slow down that tempo that was so impressive against Louisville is to run the ball and control the clock. So maybe less of a shootout than last year, or definitely less of a shootout than last year. But I think Bama goes a little bit old school in their game plan with all these NFL assistants they got now. And I think they go power football, a little old school. Bryce protects the football, and Bama wins in the 31-20 kind of range.
This one's been a toss up for me. I can't lie because just looking at it, but I think the first thing you have to do when you're looking at all this stuff is like really just look at the film itself. Like, we have a pet peeve on this show. We hate helmet when people just look at a helmet and just say this is going to happen, that's going to happen. I think it's the biggest crap that people do in college football because there's only a couple teams you can just say that year from year. When you talk about like this Ole Miss and Bama game, when I looked at Ole Miss, I think to me it's the more creativity in the running game this year than they're doing beforehand, and I think it's the comfortableness of Corral. But that's on the Ole Miss side. On the Bama side, I look at like everybody talking about Lane been marking this game, Lane been marking the game. Don't be no damn fool to think that them boys in Tuscaloosa ain't been marking this game either. Because the one thing that they don't like is being embarrassed, and they felt like they was embarrassed. Now, have they shown that they can do that on all of them? I'm not sure, but your offensive line about to get tested. Because Will Anderson and them boys coming off the edge. Like I said before the year, I said Will Anderson would be the best linebacker / defense in the country this year, and I'm still standing by that. He's got some competition, but I'm still standing by that point. Now, if you're Bama, you look at one concern, you are 11th and you are 16th in passing, but you're 81st in rushing. So they haven't been able to just do the same dominant thing. And this line has taken a step back, but has that Ole Miss defensive line stepped up enough to prove it? I really want to pull the trigger. I want to pull the trigger and say Alabama. Say Ole Miss, but
pull it.
Nah, bro. If it was in Oxford, I would say yes. But being down there with them, you talk about home cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Give me.
Now look. Now we ain't
hold on. Let me finish. I said you talking about home cooking. You want to bring up home cooking. You just never know what's gonna happen. But give me Alabama. But give me Alabama to not cover the spread right now. But in the end, it might end up like 10, 13 points. But I just think in the end, last year he knew what Lane was capable of. But I think it was like, oh, okay, you really know me. So it's like this year, I just think he can say what he want to say in public, but he done marked this game, bro. This game has been marked. Sure. Now I expect a fun game, and I wouldn't be surprised if Ole Miss win. But for the sake of this show, just give me Alabama.
Okay.
And the last one on the docket. We got number 7 Cincinnati versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame was a 1.5 point favorite, 1:30 p.m. on NBC. For time's sake, I already go tell you I'm rolling with them Bearcats. Ben, who you got?
Man, I was gonna roll with Notre Dame in this until they said Jake Cohen messed up both his ankles last week, and he's questionable. So I'm like, look, I'm not gonna pick against Cincinnati in this one. It's close. This is Cincinnati's shining moment. They want to be considered. Whatever they want to be considered, this is the best game left on their schedule for people to really talk about them. If they can somehow manage to pull this victory off, give me Cincinnati with the upset. Now, a lot of people might not see the upset, but give me Cincinnati with the upset.
Oh, Lord, me and Ben agree. God help us all. Go ahead, Dave.
Man, I don't know. Can you come back to me?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sure Mr. Green and Gold himself, Mr. Notre Dame. Cousin of Justin Tuck. Cousin of Justin Tuck has a.
You already said God help us. So touchdown Jesus, give me Notre Dame, and Marcus Freeman is going to take over what he knows was over at Cincinnati. Give me the Golden Domers, Catholics over Bearcats. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Gardner.
Oh my God, this is probably gonna be a first as well. It's just something about Notre Dame, man, and it's just something about them. I don't know what it is. Nothing special, nothing national championship special, but I think it's enough to get out of this game, even though it's as bad as I want to go with Cincinnati. And I'm going to roll with Notre Dame, and if Cincinnati wins, so be it.
It's a toss-up. It's just a real toss-up.
It really is a toss-up.
I just something to be said about those some difference makers that Notre Dame has from the running back position and the guy at the free safety, man.
Hamilton.
He's crazy.
He's just ridiculous.
I mean, when you go from the opposite hash making interceptions on the other hash on this other sideline.
I'm throwing it down. I'm just throwing my clipboard down.
Yeah. I mean, he's different. He's different, man. Give me Notre Dame.
All right, John, who you got?
I like Cincinnati. I think Notre Dame has been one of those teams that's given you so many opportunities to jump off the bandwagon. Now, to their credit, they found a way to win all those games. But, man,
right,
so many were close. Florida State, Toledo. It just felt like it was right there for the other team, and they just couldn't close the deal. It wasn't necessarily anything Notre Dame did in those games to really make you say, oh, okay, like that's a playoff contender. Because any other year, we should be talking about Notre Dame as a contender because the ACC is done. Right? The Pac-12 down to Oregon. The Big 12 is clinging to undefeated Oklahoma. So who's left? I mean, how many SEC teams can get in, right? So the fact that we're still not like confident in Notre Dame as a playoff contender, I think says a lot about that team. They're close. They're so close. And then Cincinnati, really good defense, veteran quarterback, dual threat. I mean, Desmond Ritter's a guy, if people haven't watched him, unafraid, mature coach, aggressive. Like Cincinnati's going to do the Ole Miss thing in this game and play very aggressive. Like they don't have anything to lose because this is their moment. Like Ben said, this has got to be their all-in game. And Notre Dame has a conservative passing game that is centered on the tight end, who's very good, Michael Mayer. Kevin Austin's a good receiver. They don't have that vertical threat. So I just think that keeps the score down if Notre Dame can't run the football. And I think that's the case. I think this is a very low-scoring game. I know I've been saying that a lot this week. I think this is this game will feel like it's in December, like cold. It'll feel weird, defensive laden. Both defenses are good, but I think Cincinnati's quarterback could be the X factor because he's got the legs to do it as well. And they've already gone in to someone else's house and come out with big wins. They were down big to Indiana and fought a lot to come back. Notre Dame hadn't had to do that yet. So I just think Cincinnati's a little bit more battle tested, and I think they capitalize on their moment. And now they become maybe a sneaky playoff contender.
Right.
The rest of the way. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of stuff you said that I was kind of piggybacking on. I don't know. I think about outside of Maya and stuff, and Notre Dame has not been able to run the ball this year. Like they just have really like.
Their O-line's actually not playing well. It's weird.
No, it's not.
It's odd. Yeah.
But that's one thing. But looking at a couple comments before we get back out of here, somebody had to write a paragraph. Ole Miss O-line ran through Bama's front last year outside of Anderson. I don't think they've improved that much D-line wise. To'o is about as good as Dylan Moses.
Still a liability.
And Christian Harris is still the same liability in the middle. To'o had a lot of bad run fits in the Florida game. He was in the wrong gap.
He looked lost. He looked lost, man. And like he said, the closest comparison is Dylan Moses pre-injury.
Bama by double digits, but P.I. Joe. P.I. Joe keeps Ole Miss in it. Okay. I know what Aaron gonna say. Aaron said roll tide.
Right.
Mr. Pinehurst says RPOs have been our Achilles heel. I think that was talking about Alabama. I meant Alabama by 20. Okay, Sean.
God, Sean.
And then, of course, we got Damian saying hotty toddy.
We like the party.
Ole Miss by them.
20. And then Steve even say Ole Miss upset Alabama. Yeah, y'all got me nervous. All these Ole Miss picks, But hey, we'll see what happened. But if nothing else, fellas, man, we're gonna let John get out of it. But John, once again, give off your social media information and your new podcast and where they can find you and all that kind of good stuff like that.
Yeah, appreciate the time always, fellas. Just John Garcia _JR on all social media, and the podcast is the Next Up Pod. We'll have stories on it on SI All American, of course, all free all the time. College football and college basketball recruiting. Right there for you. Just check us out.
Is there any other game? Anybody in the comments there was a lot of games we could have picked. A lot more games. It's a really good weekend. So is there any other game that if y'all got something on the panel, y'all got any other game that y'all thought about maybe picking? It ain't got to be an official pick or anything like that. But do y'all have any other game that y'all thought about picking?
Does Florida State play this weekend?
Yes.
Don't bring
Florida State, Syracuse. That's a hard game to pick.
Oh,
this is it.
That's a hard game too.
This is it. Like
I make a motion on this show. For the rest of the year, we have to have FSU in our pick.
God damn, no, Dave, we were doing good with not putting them on the picks, Dave. Because y'all know what my heart is, and y'all know what I'm gonna do, man.
Hey man, I done told you about your heart and your head.
That's why I don't gamble. Outside of fantasy football, that's why I don't gamble.
Okay, but see, here's the thing though.
Okay, hold on. So
Syracuse has a good defense, Ben.
It's FSU and Syracuse. Go ahead, Benjamin. Who you got?
Well, since I won't be watching this game because I will be at the Grambling versus Alabama A&M game, and the game starts at 2:30 at the same exact time. FSU will probably pull this off because I won't be here drinking, I won't be here cussing, I won't be fussing. I'll be completely detached from this ball game. So look, go out there and do y'all thing, boys, because I won't see it. I'm recording it. I'll watch the cuss on Sunday, man, but I won't be watching it at all. I won't see none piece of it until I get back home on Sunday.
I'm not picking John. Who you got? FSU, Syracuse?
And Syracuse has a really good defense, man.
Right.
Yes.
Their only loss was to Rutgers, and that was just an ugly offensive game. So Syracuse can run the ball too. Two things that
Turner, his name is Turner, whatever the guy's name
Tucker,
is.
Tucker's like number 2 in the country in rushing.
Yeah, he balled out last week.
So that and a good defense will travel. Again, talent wise, but how many times are we going to keep saying that with FSU, right? So I'd probably lean Syracuse, man.
I don't blame nobody for leaning that way, Judge. I don't blame
to beat Louisville. I thought that was the bounce back. Didn't quite see it. I hate to say this because it's a great story. It's the Mackenzie Milton thing. You know, it's a great story. Look, I'm a journalist. I do this for a living. It is such a great story, but at some point, I mean, he's limited. You can see it, right? He's skipping balls in. He doesn't move, obviously, anywhere near like he used to.
Tackling himself. He had 3 sacks.
He did sack himself a couple times.
See, this is the reason why we don't get it started.
You know, they're not explosive throwing the ball. Corbin's great. The running game looks good. But a good team's going to focus in on that. I mean, to have a team like Syracuse play man against a team like Florida State and have success is crazy to me. But that might be what happens on Saturday.
And Jordan is over there in a knee brace as usual, still banged up, so he's not going to play. They got Chuba as number 2 on the depth chart. So,
at what point do you make a change, right? I don't know.
Right.
Well, since we had to do that day, we're gonna do an individual. We're gonna make that a short. We're gonna do a DSF short on Ben talking about the Florida State game. But hey, I got 3 text messages. Yes, we are still trying to do DSF After Dark. If y'all have not been listening to seeing a DSF After Dark, we normally come on when the games are over and we give initial reactions, and it's not safe for work. So if you don't want to hear safe for work instantly, I'm telling you, and we give you a fair warning. You can't sit here and watch the kids with this one because we giving it to you raw emotion. I ain't looked at no film and looked at nothing. So hopefully we'll still be doing that. And Saturday morning, of course, we do mimosas and football. Football and mimosas, rather, from 8:30 to 9. We know that's why game day is on. It's just a little small preview for the day. Make sure y'all just tune in, drop your comments, do whatever you need to do. But I do want to thank everybody for going to DSLpodcast.com, getting your merchandise. We got some other things coming soon that'll drop on there, but we just appreciate everybody. And John, we always appreciate you, man. Thank you for continually work with us. And y'all make sure y'all go follow John. But if nothing else, if Ben don't have nothing else, we gonna be out. And
thanks, John, man. We appreciate you, man. Look. We appreciate you, John, man. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you.
Anytime. Y'all enjoy the travel to the boot. Tuck, good luck. Good luck. I think you're gonna have a good night, but it's gonna be
Yeah,
weird.
you never know. You never know.
I'm going to enjoy the band. I'm going to enjoy the bands and the atmosphere. So
Anyway, Dave, you good, sir?
Syracuse by 14.
Oh no, man. We out, man. We out. We go. We'll see y'all later, man.